What's going on, guys? Top Tier Gaming here, and today I want to go over some potentially really good decks after the release of Lightning Overdrive, which is soon to come out in a couple of weeks at the recording of this video. I know our shop has a sneak peek next week, I'm pretty sure. Don't know for sure, but Lightning Overdrive is coming really quickly, and it has a bunch of cool support for a lot of decks I personally enjoy, and a bunch of other decks as well. So I just want to kind of run through potential decks that will be good post Lightning Overdrive, going over some of the cards for the archetypes, and kind of have it in a top 5 format on what I think will be best, or at least how good the support is for the deck post Lightning Overdrive. So hope you guys do enjoy. Before we get into this video, I will have the Discord and Twitter links down below, so if you want to come hang out on our Discord or check what's going on our Twitter, the links will be down below if you want to check those out. Also, a big cool note that I like to leave is that 90% of viewers on this channel are not subscribed. However, recently we've gotten that to 89%, which is massive step forward, a whole percentage point. Let's keep this trend going. So if you feel like you like the content, or maybe you want to see more, feel free to subscribe and hit that thumbs up. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video, starting with our first deck. This is a deck I think is really cool. I've never personally played it, but I do think it has a lot of potential with its new card, and that deck is Plunder Patrol. So Plunder Patrol actually get their Raven this set, and this Raven I hear is really good for the deck. I've never personally tested it, but from what I hear from Plunder Patrol players is that it's a really good card. So I definitely think they can come out with more support after this set and definitely be a better rogue option. I feel like in the rogue category, I've seen them do some really impressive things. I know some people don't have faith in the deck. A lot of people think it needs its other ships, which it does. I do wish I think it's the Wind and Earth ship they still need. I do wish they had those, and I think in the future they will get them. But I think this Raven does a lot for them, and I've seen the deck do really impressive stuff with a lot of good go second plays, even some good go first boards, even though I think it's generally considered more of a go second deck. It has a really strange playstyle from what I've seen, but it's really cool, and I love the archetype in general. I mean, they're like goblin pirates, which is just really, really cool. I love the archetype in design, and I think it's a really interesting archetype with a really cool mechanic, and I think after Lightning Overdrive, they're definitely going to be a stronger rogue option. I feel like I don't see many people play it, despite it being such a cool deck, and I feel like when you have pirates, which just are there's such a loved theme, that you're really missing out on an opportunity if you don't make the deck a little stronger, and that's what I think they've done. So for the number 5 deck on this list, I'm going with Plunder Patrol, which I think is just a really cool archetype overall. But for number 4, I'm going to go with more of a, I guess, fan favorite, or at least a favorite for me because I play it so much. It's actually Trap Tricks. So honestly, Trap Tricks as a deck, I think are just super strong. I play them quite often. I haven't recently because I've been playing other decks I wanted to play, like the Earth Machine deck, and I just put a profile on the channel if you want to see that, as well as Live Twins. I've been playing quite a bit of that. Harpy Ladies, all these profiles are on the channel if you want to see those, but I haven't had enough time to play Trap Tricks, and I knew post Lightning Overdrive I probably would, because Trap Tricks are getting Gina Loa and Utricalaria. I don't quite know if that's their English names yet. That's what was speculated when they first were announced in the OCG. But yeah, these cards are pretty good. I don't think they changed the deck entirely, but Trap Tricks as a deck is already very strong in my opinion, and I think it's a very, very strong rogue category that gets a little slept on sometimes and is seen as maybe not as good as it really is, but the deck is super impressive, especially when you mix it with the Dogmatica package. It just has so much control in it. But yeah, Utricalaria, I think I'm going to run as a 1-of. I don't think you need more in the extra deck, and the extra deck's kind of tight, but she's really cool, and she can make your snowball be a little more ridiculous and kind of accelerate it. And Gina Loa is a really cool extender that can be very nice with Mantis to go into easy Utopia double plays, or she can just be follow-up if you have her and your first normal summon got Gamma, then you can extend into her and still make a Sarah. She's definitely going to have uses as well. Her and Mantis have some really nice synergy. And yeah, I think overall it's going to do a lot for the Trap Tricks archetype, but not even really push them up a tier. I think they're actually already a very strong deck. If I were to tier them, it'd be strong tier 2. I mean, maybe there's a little bias, but I've just had a lot of success with the deck and think it's very powerful. And I'm super excited for the Lightning Overdrive support it's getting because, one, I think the art on the cards are fantastic. Then Gina Loa and Utricalaria both look great. I think they do provide a different element for the deck, and I think as far as Trap Trick support goes, there's a couple things I think the archetype could get, but an extender, a special summon extender from hand, was one of the main on my list, and I think Utricularia is a very cool link too. So yeah, I think it's great for the deck, and overall I think Traptrix will see a benefit from these cards. Maybe not the biggest one, but I think it will be a benefit. And I'm looking at a list over here, which is why I keep going over here. So number 3 on the list is Dinosaur. I think it's no surprise to anyone that Dinosaur are high on this list at number 3, because Dinosaur are also just known to be a powerful deck, and they're getting Scrap Raptor, which is a huge bit of support in Lightning Overdrive. And yeah, it does more for Dinosaurs, I think, than Scraps. It's good in both, but I think the Scrap engine for Dinosaur is proven to be very strong on a couple of different videos I've seen about it, and just from what we know. Now, I do think on the upcoming ban list, that should be a little bit after Lightning Overdrive, which, speaking of which, ban list prediction will be up on this channel, a little sneak peek, very shortly. Yeah, I do think that Dinosaurs will get hit in some way, or at the very least, I'm kind of hoping, because I do think Misk is a very powerful card, and I think Fossil Dig's very strong as well, especially with the release of Scrap Raptor. So I feel like with Scrap Raptor coming in, they're also going to want to hit Dino, because it might just get a little too crazy. But yeah, regardless, I think Scrap Raptor as support for Dinosaurs is super, super good. I guess you could put Scraps on this list as well, because Scrap Raptor is Scrap support. However, I'm thinking more on the Dinosaur side because that's more meta relevant. But as far as more of a rogue tier-ish deck, yeah, Scrap Raptor is super good for Scrap. I think it's also really good for Orchist. Scrap Raptor is great support for a lot of decks. I might be wrong about Orchist. I haven't seen as much on that side of things, but just I know Scrap Recycler was played in Orchist a lot, so maybe Scrap Raptor finds his place. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I think that mostly Dinosaur is what catches my eye, but Scrap, or maybe even Orchist, Scrap Raptor is great support, and these decks get a huge boost. So I guess number 3, I want to put Dinosaur, but there's a couple of decks you could put here, because Scrap Raptor really is just that strong of support. And then for number 2, this one was pretty easy, just because we know how powerful the card's going to be from the OCG. It's actually the Tri-Brigade deck. So Tri-Brigade Zoo is probably what our meta is going to shift to. I do think Bird Up will still be a very strong contender in the TCG, because we lack Max C to really provide an extra, mitigation against the deck, or another way to deter them from playing Bird Up. But I do think Bird Up will still be good, but I think Zodiac Tri-Brigade is going to be very strong post this card, because you will want to play more of a trap-oriented build, because Bear Bloom is kind of a card that leads you to want to play it that way. And Bear Bloom, Bear Brum, I don't exactly know what they're going to play, but it's the new Link 2, if you're unaware. Tri-Brigade get a new Link 2, and it is very, very good. It just lets them extend into more links, and also search a trap card when she leaves the field. It's really great, and Tri-Brigades get such a big boost from this. They're already good in the TCG. Everyone knows Tri-Brigade's great. But yeah, they just get such a boost from Lightning Overdrive that definitely one of the better cards in the set, and a deck that I think will skyrocket. I mean, we've already seen some of the prices. If you keep up with the market, Fractal went up in price a lot, and I think mainly Ominous Omen, or Shura Egg, whatever you want to call him. I don't know how they really pronounce the link for, but that's what I call him. He also shot up in price, so people are anticipating for this to be good, and we know it's the best deck in the OCG right now. So Bear Bloom or Bear Brum, I've seen both names, I don't know which one she's going to be named, is definitely a star for Lightning Overdrive, and I think Tri-Brigade are going to end up being one of the stronger decks post Lightning Overdrive, and definitely one of the more cool decks, I think, because she's a really great card. I know that people are kind of tired of Zodiac, and Tri-Brigade aren't the most interesting thing sometimes. People might be tired of Bird Up because of the statue, but I do think it's, a cool archetype, and, we haven't had Beast Family be really good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Before Tri-Brigade, so I think it's a nice welcome to the game, and Bear Bloom's a really cool card, and I like her art as well. I think her art is fantastic. So yeah, that's number 2. And for number 1, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm pretty sure everyone was expecting this. I'm putting Drytron as number 1. Drytron, we know last format when VFD was still around, Drytron were just a tier 1 threat. Super, super good. They could search their entire deck with Ben 10. And I feel like they're going to see some of that come back even with one Ben 10 because of Diviner of the Herald. So Diviner of the Herald is, I think, probably the strongest card in Lightning Overdrive. In fact, I made an entire video about it. She is so, so good for so many different strategies. Personally, I need her for Sulfa Chords. I'm trying to make that deck kind of competitive, not the Triff version that many of you have probably seen, but trying to go a different direction, and I think Diviner of the Herald is absolutely mandatory. But for Drytron specifically, she's so good because you can set Herald of the Arclight, search her Ben 10, then she's level 6, which can be relevant if you're running the regular Herald of Perfection version. I'm really interested to see how Drytron sort of adapt, because they're also getting Mu Beta Fafnir, so that's another card that's really good for Drytron. And Drytron are going to, I think they're going to be a powerhouse. We didn't really see that in the OCG as much, and I still am blaming mostly Max C for this problem. Of course, there's many cards that shut down Drytron, like Droll Lockbird is super strong. But I do think giving Drytron all this consistency back in the form of Diviner, and giving them a new monster in the form of Mu Beta Fafnir, which kind of replaces Union Carrier as far as like the Foolish Burial effect to get another Drytron engraved, is going to do a lot for the deck, and I think Drytron are going to come back in a strong way. Of course, I don't know for sure, but I do think as far as support goes, Drytron benefit the most of like any support in this set for any given deck. I'm really excited to see what Drytron do, because they have some cool strategies. Overall, it's a really cool archetype. When you're playing against them full power with like 3 Ben 10, it feels really bad sometimes, because if you don't have the Droll or the right amount of counters, they're just going to search like their win board, and I don't think Vanity's Ruler is like a very fun card to play against, but the Drytrons themselves are very cool, and I'm a big fan of Diviner the Herald. I think she's such a cool card. Again, I think her art is great too. There's some really great art in this set for a lot of these cards I'm talking about that I think are really cool cards, and I think Drytron, again, they're just going to benefit so much, and probably aren't going to see a hit for a long time to come. Like, Ben 10 was the problem, right? Ben 10 was ridiculous, being able to search itself and just fuel infinite Drytrons. But yeah, overall, I think Drytron is my #1 pick for the deck that gets the most benefit from Lightning Overdrive. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. My dog was kind of being a menace outside. I don't know if y'all could hear that. It's also raining, and just had like crazy allergies this morning, so my voice is a little whack. But yeah, besides all those things, I hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Check out the other content on this channel. Maybe leave a comment on what deck you want to play most after Lightning Overdrive, as far as like support related to Lightning Overdrive is concerned. I don't think like Shaddoll really get anything, so I mean, saying Shaddoll is just kind of like, yeah, that's a really good deck, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Lightning Overdrive. Like, what in Lightning Overdrive is getting you excited, right? So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Leave a like and subscribe. This was Top Tier Gaming. Bye, YouTube.